All right, folks, we are back. Battle of BC 5 returns. I know you probably were dying to see some of these matches on that 5-minute break, and so were we. We were watching the quad stream and everything. But guys, we got MK Leo in losers. We got Riddles in losers.
Crazy.
We're gonna have one of Mia and Onin in losers after this set.
Yeah, and no matter what kind of ranked player you are from all over the world, getting top 8 at Battle of BC 5 is going to be one of the most pristine accomplishments you can put on the resume. So these players are fighting it out, man, and it's so great to see the passion, see the adaptation, see the nerves come into play, right? There's so many different factors, so many different emotions that we are getting from everyone in the venue, the players, the commentators, the crowd, and it's fantastic. And of course, shout out to the amazing production here at Battle of BC 5, making it look even that next level of pristine, that next level of beauty.
Dude, this tournament, I cannot say enough about how it's leveled up over the years.
Absolutely.
It gives me the same vibe as Gommel, which is obviously very near and dear to my heart, where it started at UBC, college, much like how Joe's college, York University, had the first 2 Gommels, and now it has evolved into something completely different. We're here at the main convention center in the city of Vancouver. It's a huge venue. The sun bleeds through the roof. It looks absolutely gorgeous in here. And, I mean, the talent, bro, I think that's just been the first thing on everyone's mind. We have so many of the best players in Japan, which is a rarity at NA tournaments. And, you know, we invaded them during Golden Week, and now they're invading us. They've been putting up some numbers. Mia defeated Kola quite handily to get here. It was a 3-1 set, but Game 4 was kind of brutal. And now he has Onin in his path, one of the best Steves out there. And he's got to get through this titan of an NA player to make it further in the winner's bracket. Yeah, the players, how they're pushing their characters. That's not the only glow up that we're seeing throughout the community. Even these tournaments, like you said, have so much history behind every single one of them. Battle of BC being one of those grassroots events that have grown to this pristine event that is showcasing so much of the talent all over the world. In my prediction, going to be the most stacked open bracket tournament of 2023. I'd be very surprised if that's not the case, and it's just so great to see. Now we're going to see NA or America, Onin, the best Steve in America, versus Mia. Now, I think Mia knows a thing or two about Steve. I think so too, man. Of course, Akala being his rival for that #1 spot in all of Japan. He's been on the back foot against him, but if he can show what he's learned in those constant several sets against Akala, this is the perfect opponent to showcase that. And by the way, I just want to throw this out there. I got my eye on the quad stream. Ouch, eliminated 3-1 by JDV, a Pac-Man player from Washington who probably is not on a lot of people's radars, but he is shaping up to be one of the best players in the entire West Coast of the U.S. So taking out Ouch after that miraculous defeat at the hands of Leo, that's got to sting a little bit, man. But still, great run from him. To even have the chance to show his stuff against Leo that well is pretty remarkable. Yeah, and now we're getting into this Game & Watch versus Steve matchup here. Now, there's a lot of interesting interactions. Now, Game & Watch's up B has a bit of tangibility or intangibility in the startup of it, so we've seen many Game & Watch players go ahead and beat out Minecart with it, but you don't get too much if it's just the up B hit, right? So, oh wow, Onin got those and using the cart to position for the backer, a quick 76 and counting here. What a way to open up versus Mia, who is obviously very practiced in this matchup. Onin showing, hey, I'm a different breed of Steve, and you're going to have to play different strategies against me. And we were talking about how Mia could really prove himself in the Steve matchup, but I think the opposite is also true. Onin has been absent from major tournaments for a long time. Second place at Let's Make Moves Miami, first place at Gommel, and then we haven't seen too much of him lately, right? And when we have seen him, it hasn't been that same fire that he exploded onto the scene with, right? It hasn't been exactly like the Onin that we were used to. So if he beats Mia here, that's huge for him. Again, #2 in Japan, that's an incredibly tough opponent, especially when you consider the experience he has against Akala. Yeah, and really Onin coming through with that first place at SmashCon last year as well, but just like that is going to... Able to take the first stock from Mia and racking up damage. Goes for the side B there. Not too sure, maybe an up B input error, but nonetheless, Onin can really try to take this lead even farther, but the Nair, it's not enough. Mia still on the hunt. Oh, spiking him back down. What are you doing up here? Yeah, sit down, sir. All right, and Onin bleeding out so heavily on this first stock of his, but manages to get his way around Mia, who's just been unstoppable when it comes to ledge traps. That block obviously going to be really huge for Steve's chances of getting around the bacon and just all the ledge traps the Game & Watch brings to the table.
Wasn't able to get the craft onto the diamond. Mia keeping the pressure up, not letting Onin craft that diamond and taking so much damage here, starting to catch up in terms of percent and the bacon ledge trap. It's going to be a big deal, but Onin going to mine up some resources real quick, maybe snap the ledge a little later on, all right?
Yeah, and hiding just under the ledge too, so the bacon definitely would not hit him. But despite that, Mia still managed to keep his advantage state going, throws the bucket out just in case the minecart was going to keep going. All right, I'm loving this play from Mia. He's really turned this one around after getting kind of beaten up at the beginning.
Yeah, and Mia's advantage state is so clean. Look at already 103, and Onin has still not crafted the diamond. And now, Onin, if you are going to craft the diamond, it's a pretty big risk. You only have one on deck, right?
And he just tried to do it right there, but Mia able to get right in his face and interrupt the crafting process. That's going to be huge. 67%. Mia has not been touched in like a minute and a half.
Wow, and destroying the crafting table. But this time, Onin using the intangibility from the Angel platform and going to go ahead and finally craft that diamond, which should have been crafted on that second stock. But Mia always keeping the pressure onto Steve, not letting Steve get all these different setups or craft all these different kinds of weapons, right?
Oh my god, dude, the pain is not stopping. It just feels like once Mia adapts to you, it might take a little bit of time for him to get there, but when he's there, you cannot hit him anymore. You gotta get the parry on the back air, right into up B, and blocks or no blocks, that up air will find you one way or the other.
Oh, bacon on the platform into bacon on the roll from the ledge here. Oh, the clank on the forward smash. Bring out everything here. And, I mean, that forward smash is so strong coming out from Steve, right? What a recovery coming out from Onin. And the backer slicing through everything.
All right, down to the last stock. Onin, you're going to need some kind of a miracle. Just some really big, juicy opening. It's got to be up tilt on the ground, right? There's almost no way that you make up for this kind of lead without that exact starter. Mia trying to shut that down at every turn. Not even trying to let Onin back on the stage. Oh, and the air dodge. Gonna miss the ledge. Game one, after such a good start from Onin, it's gonna crumble and fall apart right in front of him.
Yeah, Onin was able to taste a little bit of momentum on that first stock, but Mia was like, nah, that's mine. And then just got one advantage and was just so clean with it, even with Onin kind of stalling underneath the ledge against the bacon ledge trap, was able to mine some materials. But other than that, Mia was just pressuring Onin so much to the point where Onin had the diamond on that second stock, right, and just couldn't craft it. So Mia playing the matchup really well. If you're able to continuously pressure Steve and not let Steve either mine the resources or craft the resources that he mines, just going to be really hard. And it can be very difficult to keep the pressure on to Steve because Steve has some of the best reversal potential in the game, especially with Iron, right? Talking about the minecart, talking about the anvil, but Mia has the tools to fight against that with that up B, with the intangibility. We saw an up B through the anvil even, right? And you can also reflect it with the bucket. There's a lot of things that Mia can do, and we're seeing that come through in this set. We'll see if the adjustments from Onin come through in this game number 2 on Final Destination.
No, you're so right, Charles. I think Game & Watch is very uniquely equipped against Steve, right? You have low commitment stuff like up air, like up B, like bacon, that can pressure Steve from far away and not get you reversaled after you hit him. I think that's really the hardest thing about fighting this character. It's like you hit him once, and then he has such good escapes from disadvantage. You really have to respect minecart and anvil particularly. Game & Watch, on the other hand, he's like, oh, I'm fine with that. Yeah, look, go ahead, hit my shield with that fake block string into a command grab, right? I'm just busting the up B right out.
Okay, but this time, very similar to game number 1. Onin does have the lead here, but how long can Onin hold on to it? Has the gold on deck, so the minecarts are going to be a little bit faster here. But again, Mia just so well equipped. Tries to get the delay, and there's the reflect. Go right to the ledge so I can set up the bacon. Tries to get the hop over from the minecart. The nair eventually does connect here, and now Mia cashing out with the damage.
Onin with such a nice start once again, but oh my god, almost getting up right into that down smash. Probably would have been his life, even at only 55%. Oh, okay.
Beautiful DI.
Yeah, minecart not going to finish the job just yet, and now it's Mia with the advantage state here. Brave up B and spiking Onin off of his own block. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh every time I see a Steve miss the tech on their own block. Maybe I'm just a hater.
Yeah, you're the one that put it there.
Yeah, this is your gimmick, bro.
Wow, Mia, again, with that drag down back air into another back air because Onin didn't have the jump, was forced to go into some kind of special that had the startup. Incredible edge guarding coming out from Mia, but the diamond back air to the face, and that's going to do just the trick to even up the stocks.
Oh, and we're seeing Mia yet again just try to reflect that minecart. Even if Onin's not in it and it's not going to send him back off stage, it's just one less thing to worry about. And we've seen so many of these crafty ways at shutting down Steve's tools out of disadvantage. Hold on. You're going to see a quick
the double.
40%. Wow. Yo, that's how you know this guy has experience. He knows that he can break the block with the key. If it's wood, if it's dirt, in one shot, it'll take it out, and then he just basically ledge cancels into another one.
Yeah, that's the creative things with Steve. And, I mean, Steve can do it with his own blocks. We see Steve go onto a block and go for a down tilt, and then it just breaks because they're on the block. And other players can do that too, especially if you have a stall and fall like Game & Watch, right?
And he's not shy about taking advantage of that. That said, though, Onin firing back in a big way. He's brought this back to even, actually slightly in his favor. But we're going to see if he can get down. Whoa,
what an air dodge.
Waveland behind the blocks, yeah. As they break right in front of him. Onin also very tapped in to the nuances of Steve's blocks, right? So it's not like Mia's the only one getting advantage out of that. Obviously, the guy using the character knows what's up.
Yeah, Mia also has a secondary Steve as well. So dabbles with the character, fights against the best Steve in the world here. But now Onin with the lead on this second stock, trapped in the house here. But Game & Watch is going to go ahead and eject and just go ahead and mash the down air here on these blocks. But here comes the string from Onin. Misses a fastball, unfortunate. But the anvil does connect. The bucket was out, but maybe Mia dropping the down B or not spacing it correctly. Nonetheless, Onin with a very solid two-stock and really ran away with the momentum on that game, or the tail end of that game number 2.
After how methodical and back and forth game 1 was, that was uncomfortable for the pacing of the set. And if I'm Mia, I'm knocked a little bit off center by that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you might have thought, okay, I got this one bagged up. I started figuring out his patterns. We're good. In game 2, most of it was going his way, or at least quite well from him. But then when Onin turned it on, it was just over. Literally, that last stock lasted maybe 40 seconds, if that. So we'll see if Onin can keep that same fire going into game 3. Of course, this is the tiebreaker match. Counter pick advantage is decided by this, but even beyond statistically qualifiable things, right? You got the momentum that you got to worry about. Whoever wins this is at a very strong advantage in terms of the mentality behind taking this set home.
Yeah, and there's so much statements to be made in this set alone. I mean, Mia plays against the best Steve in the world on the regular here. If Onin's able to take out Mia, that's such an incredible statement. Oh, getting the dynamite, the TNT is going to connect. And yeah, usually we see the TNT launch upwards, but maybe some weird DI coming out from Mia's end and actually going to lose the stock.
And that's exactly what Onin needs. You got to catch this guy off guard to the best of your ability. He is probably more experienced against top-level Steve than anyone else, just by the nature of how many times he's probably fought Akala and Grands or some deep best-of-5 set in bracket, right? So there's not really going to be too many surprises. Not many ways that you could trick this guy. But Onin, he's cut from a different cloth. Just because he's the other best Steve doesn't mean that oh my God, doesn't mean he plays the same way at all.
Using the block to make the hit lag on Mia's attack so the whiff punish on the anvil is more successful. What is going on? But Mia closing it out with the chair there, the forward tilt, kind of keeping things closer, but it's still owning up an entire stock.
Yeah, this is so huge for him. I mean, Steve with the lead, right? You just have to constantly rush him down to not only prevent him from getting resources, but to start carving out some damage for yourself. Mia failing in that at every turn here in this game 3. Onin mops him up almost a JV3 stock. This set has turned around in such a big way.
What is going on? Mia felt like he had such a lock on to Onin on that game 1. Onin was able to get the lead. Mia just completely suffocating all the options from Onin on that game 1. But games 2 and 3, Onin just getting a bit of that momentum and going so far with it. And even some of those diamond confirms, they are a little bit shorter than the wood confirms, but they do so much damage. I mean, that was like 60% on like 3 or 4 moves, especially if you're ending the combo with the forward smash. Onin very familiar on what kind of combo routes to take with diamond, and then just getting hard reads to end it off with another diamond forward smash. Onin with so much momentum. I would not be surprised to see Onin just close it out on this 4th game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, does Mia have the clutch factor, the resilience to come back from something like this? Again, a pretty new player, a pretty young player in the grand scheme of things. You could say that about both of them, but Onin's the one who's playing hot right now. I'm definitely liking his odds of taking this, but I don't know. Game 4, it's not going his way just yet. Stuck to the ledge, that infinite ledge trap. Steve is one of the few characters that can finesse his way out of that. Onin going to do just that. Oh, landing a forward air into a jab into another forward air. Oh my God, trying to send him to hell.
Yeah, and you can see just some of that NA style coming out from Onin, willing to go for some of the riskier offstage interactions against Game Watch. Game Watch can be very hard to get offstage because of the up B, so much recovery options, but Onin willing to go for some of these fairs offstage.
Oh, wow, the rolls right through each other. You can tell these guys are nervous. There's so much on the line right here. This is top 32, Charles. I believe the winner makes it to tomorrow.
That's such a big deal right there. Mia trying to beat out the minecart with the upbeat, the interaction we were talking about earlier, but messes it up, and the reversal is so scary because right there, Onin was just able to close out that first stock with the back air here. Now with the lead, going to mine up some resources. Mia has to keep the pressure on, or the diamond weapons are going to be all online for this next stock.
Oh, just a little nair to keep it going. Yes.
Whoa.
Pushing Mia back off stage. And I don't know, man. Game & Watch already at 52%. We've seen how early the anvils can kill. We've seen how early forward smash can kill. Even back air at this point might do it if he gets diamond and pushes Mia toward the top corner. So, yeah, he's got to figure something out and fast. Doing just that with the back air. Now Mia, yeah, goes to destroy the crafting table. Wants to limit the resources a little bit here. In the grand scheme of things, I don't know how much damage that's really going to do to Onin. He's got his diamond. He's got a 70% lead. But hold on, Mia's so dangerous on hit. Going to make up for about half of that in one shot.
Okay, there's another up B, trying to get this up air juggle. The nair covering so much. The up air not fully connecting, but the damage is coming easy here for Mia. I like the block setup and double roll, just getting out of that center area. Mia is focusing so much on controlling that area. Here's more up airs for even more damage.
Oh, putting the block there. Oh, but Mia still ready for that minecart. He knows. You can bet on one thing, and that's that Steve players will try to minecart out of the corner, but also that his back air will murder you at an uncomfortably low percent. Onin just one stock away from making it to Sunday on the winner's side. This is huge for him.
Yeah, and so many backers coming out from Onin has really been the moneymaker for Onin. Has got caught Mia overextending either on the ground or some other interaction and is able to sink that back air or forward smash and is able to get the stock so early, but the up B answering back. Mia getting the stock with the up B, not a move that's not too powerful, but was able to get the job done while comboing off the forward air into the neutral. Doesn't. Wait, can you get the trap? Yes, you do.
Oh, Onin using the American air dodge to escape right there. Mia, even though he missed the follow-up, he still had enough time to react and pick another one up. Oh, wow, almost a close call. Thought he was going to bonk his head on the underside of Smashville with that up B, but Onin just precise enough to get through. Oh no, up B to thwart some pressure. Another one, and it's Mia who suddenly claimed control of this fourth game, Charles. We might be going to a fifth and final round.
Mia is just how he's navigating through these iron options. Again, the minecart, the anvils, Onin is throwing them out, but Mia has an answer every single time, getting so much damage. The up airs, like you said, such a great way to contest the anvil. Can you get something going here? Trying to stave off the pressure with the charge on the down smash. Mia forcing the game 5.
Insane parry right there on the platform. You have all this pressure from underneath. Onin sharking you like a monster right there, but no. He kept his head on straight. That's the most important thing. I want to say that patience and mentality transcends any kind of gameplay improvements you can make. You would not have done that had you not just been poised and completely ready for that.
And even ready to get the parry and have the charge on the down smash, knowing that Onin went for a very aggressive rising aerial. That's one of the most committal things you can do in Ultimate. So Mia utilizing that frame advantage and just getting everything he can, gets the charge, waits a tad bit just to make sure Onin lands in that area and gets the KO off the top. Would have got the KO if the berry happened as well. Man, this set has just been back and forth, and there's so much on the line. Who is going to stay in winner's bracket here, and what country is going to move on?
Charles, I could not tell you. If you had a gun to my head right now, I'd just take the bullet.
It's a hard bet. It's a hard bet for sure. And it looks like we're going to have that center stage layout right here at Hollow Bastion, that single platform.
Okay, good start for Mia so far in terms of position, obviously trailing a little bit in percent, but you're seeing right here all these safe aerials from Mia. Steve doesn't have the out of shield game to respond to them. He does have a few things, footstool, anvil out of shield namely, and you know Akula's a big fan of that, but we haven't really seen it from Onin. Otherwise, Steve's out of shield does kind of betray him.
Oh, there's the directional air dodge to get away from the bomb, but Mia always trapping with these forward airs, the back air to connect as well, setting up the bacon ledge trap, but up and over. Onin has been getting a little bit better at going around these bacon ledge traps.
Yeah, and using those blocks really as kind of the stepping stones back onto the stage. It's been huge for him. But Mia, once this guy gets advantage one time, you see that percent go from 30 to 130 in a flash, and somehow the first stock is going to go his way. Onin leading for so long, but just unable to finish him off. Let's see, we got the backwards nair out of shield, but it's not going to turn into anything, and suddenly Mia might get something started.
Oh, barely drifting back on that air dodge to avoid the up smash. That was so smart coming out from Mia, and another air dodge up through, but tries to get the optimal punish with the down smash, but Mia still surviving on this first stock.
Forward throw, up throw.
Still not enough.
Just barely short of the kill. Okay, maybe this time around it'll do it. Yeah, the extra damage from the throw and the pummels gonna close the door on first stock. Mia He's got a tiny lead here, but he needs to get a key opening. Wait, no hitbox on the Elytra there?
Yeah, interesting, because you have the pan as well that can do that fire damage, but not going to work out here. And now Onin back onto the stage. What a grab! Oh my goodness. Are you going to craft the diamond for the second stock? Is Mia going to allow you that space? And right now, Mia's keeping the pressure on in this ledge, using the neutral beat to also break the crafting table.
But Onin just going to brute force right back through it with the minecart. Basically, minecart can deal with the bacon, and Bucket can deal with the minecart. So it really depends. It's a constant RPS here at the ledge. And then, of course, Onin can kind of reset with the blocks if he wants to, but he hasn't been falling back on that too much. Might just be the heat of the moment, right? Even though it was working for him earlier in the set, you just want to rush your way back to stage, get your hands on this Game & Watch, hope for an early kill. I don't even know. He's got the diamond ready to go, but is it the right time? I think it is. It's do or die for Onin at this point.
Yeah, at this point, it's so hard in terms of resource management. The down air gets the cross up on the DI and going to send Onin straight off the top here. Finally getting to craft the diamond, but is it too little too late?
It might be. I don't know. He's got to land something right now, and Onin knows that. Mia knows that. Avoiding the forward smash, that certainly would have been a kill. And at this point, I don't know. If Mia gets a down throw, maybe gets an up B or Nair starter, I think it's over for Onin. Wow, the block pushing him right into position for the bacon to hit, but hold on. Onin still with some gas in the tank. 47%, that could be one up tilt away from an even game.
And the diamond is online. You only got a handful of iron here, but still, it's enough to make everything work. But Mia keeping up the pressure, these up Bs. Oh, what's the conversion off the minecart grab? Not going to be too much. The down air into the instant forward air. Great pressure, great control into the instant tech, but what a punish from Onin.
Using the stage and the surroundings to his advantage. He knew those blocks were there. He put them there for a reason. Oh no, directional air dodge going to get scooped up by the neutral air. And up air, a couple more up airs to follow. Yeah, the ledge cancel forward air, just keeping himself a threat off stage. But how do you get back against Game & Watch from the ledge? You just don't. And Mia takes it 3-2 over Onin in a clutch Game 5.
And there was no iron, no hope there for Onin on that ledge trap. We see Onin so many times utilizing the iron, and even the resources was running dry. Mia with the constant pressure. The way Mia plays that matchup is pristine.
That was incredible stuff from both players. I think they really got a chance to let you know why they're some of the best in the business, right? But Onin falling just short. After the wall combo with the blocks, I thought it was over for Mia. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, the back air wasn't going to kill, right? But still, a diamond back air putting him all the way up there at something like 90%. You're one good hit away from death. It's just, you got to land that one good hit, and Mia makes it so hard. Game & Watch is so mobile and slippery, and it's just really hard to put him in a bad spot.
Yeah, and I mean, Onin did an incredible job, like you said, off the block tech and the counterplay to the counterplay, if you will. We're going to watch some of that amazing counterplay here in the replays, and we saw Onin even do a little bit of nil combos towards the beginning, but as the nerves and the tension starts getting higher and higher, you notice some tournament combos coming into play, right?
Yeah, just cash out immediately, right? Like maybe 2 up airs into a forward air, just send them away, right? And no, I totally agree, Charles. Like, the pressure mounting throughout the course of the set, you're going to see the level of play gradually go down a little bit, right? Like, you're just more spaghetti. You're not confident in those long extensions, and you just got to do what you know will work. Mia doing a slightly better job of it by the end of the set, but man, that was a great one to watch. Yeah,
and Mia stuck with his strategy, right? Just continuous pressure. How many games did Onin even get a diamond on? Usually the earliest diamond we've seen was on that final stock, right? There's very little times where Onin was able to get on that second stock, and it's because every time Onin got a neutral reset, Mia was there playing neutral by the crafting table, so just kind of guarding that crafting table at all times. And again, I love the way Mia plays the matchup. Now, not every character has the luxury of pressuring Steve that often, and having tools like Up B to beat out Minecart, always having that threat, and even though you don't get a lot of damage from it, you're burning resources over and over, and one iron at a time, it ends up mattering, because Onin, there are so many times where Onin just didn't have the iron, and especially when it mattered the most. Game 5, last stock, last hit, there was no iron in the inventory for Onin.
And not only are you wearing down his resources, but you're also wearing him down mentally, when it's like, man, all this stuff that I usually can get away with for free in every single other matchup, it suddenly is just off the table. I got to be real creative, out of disadvantage, and for Steve, that's a huge deal, right? Again, like, obviously the character on hit is crazy, his neutral is great, he always forces you to approach, but one of his X factors is just how tough it is to follow up on him.
Yeah, but honestly, shout-outs to Onin. Incredible Game 5. I mean, Mia was able to clutch it out, but Mia, an expert in that matchup, so even though Onin is getting sent to loser's bracket, you got to have a little bit of pride on bringing Mia to that Game 5, right? So Onin's still in the talks here for one of the best Steves to do it in the world. And you know, I have full faith that Oni could bring it back through losers bracket and still end up in this top 8 for Battle of BC.
Yeah, it's totally possible. I think at this point, anyone's a contender, right? We've already seen MKLeo knocked into the losers bracket, which is just a huge deal, right? But players we haven't seen on this mainstream yet, Spargo, Tweak, Akala, right? There's still big question marks hovering over their heads, and I think we're going to see them in the next batch of matches. But before that, we have another international classic coming
One more?
up. This has to be the first time that these two have played. I'm calling it right now. I'm not even going to look at Smash data. It's going to be Siski representing Spain versus Yoshidora representing Japan. Probably the best of their respective characters. Well, then again, there is Yaura. So
right.
One of the best Samuses versus, I'd say at this point, guaranteed de facto the best Yoshi in the world.
And this is Yoshidora's premier first time competing outside of Japan. Really want to see what this Yoshi player can do. I mean, you got to give it up to Yoshidora. Probably, if not, the best Yoshi in the world, right? I can confidently say that. Has some incredible results with this character. And Yoshi is a character that we don't see too often in these top 8s of these incredibly stacked tournaments. So Yoshidora does it in Japan. And the crowd going wild here. It looks like Ken actually getting upset.
Yep, by JDV, the same guy that just beat Ouch on a tear through this losers bracket. Yeah, Ouch and Ken in his path so far. Washington showing up big. Wow. Yeah,
and
but oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and the crowd just going wild here. And I mean, that's the one thing I love so much about this tournament. You can tell it's a grassroots event because the crowd is so invested, going so crazy over all of these upsets, really cheering on their boys, right? There's PNW, there's also Canada as well. They're really on home turf here.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a region that has almost like a chip on their shoulder, right? They've had their dates stepped on for so many majors, like, you know, 2GG and Poor Priority, like conflicted mad times. It's not any bad blood. It's not any like malicious activity. It's just that sometimes shit happens. And now that they are in the spotlight finally, I feel like, you know, this is the most eyes that have ever been on a PNW tournament. This and the last two Poor Priorities have also been insanely big.
Fire.
Yeah, some of the best events in the business for sure. So, you know, they're representing. They want to be loud and proud for their boys, and JDV really making it easy for them to keep cheering.
Yeah, JDV really showing up with the Pac-Man. I mean, a character that has been very strong. T showcasing that, but now T also kind of adapting to the meta. You know, slapping the Kazuya on the character.
Why not?
Because why not, right? But it's really interesting to see all these different characters really show up. And, I mean, getting the upset on Ken, obviously Ken has a lot of experience fighting T in tournaments. So JDV doing an incredible job here, getting a 3-0 upset over Ken. That is insane.
Yeah, I was watching that set out of the corner of my eye during our last one, and he was up 1-0 and like 3 stocks to 1, and I'm like, damn, dude, what's going on here?
The power-up's real.
Exactly, yeah. The in-region power-up definitely carries you pretty far when you're doing it for not just yourself, but hundreds of other people.
Right.
And Yoshidora is someone who's doing it for hundreds of people who not only are from Japan and rooting for him, but also tons of North Americans who have been curious about this guy's level of play. Can he do what he does overseas here?
Yeah, and Yoshi is a very popular character. We don't see it too much in like super top level play, like top 8s of like really stacked tournaments, but Yoshidora has been bringing this character to these top 8s of this caliber of a tournament here. So we'll see if Yoshidora can do it here at the most stacked tournament of the year, Battle of BC 5.
And we've seen other good Yoshis here on American soil, right? Or NA soil. We have Suarez and Raptor doing it for a long time. Meme from Mexico as well. So, I don't know, man. I think this character has a huge question mark over his head, but Yoshidora is the only one doing it like this.
All right, the back air are going to set up an offstage situation. Watch the egg snipes. If you watched Kagari V10, Yoshidora was able to get multiple double egg snipes for the KO. And now Yoshidora with the lead here versus Siski. And Yoshi against some of these zoners can be really great. You have that double jump that has the armor, right? It comes out on frame 1 of the double jump as well. Oh, and the offstage goes crazy here. Yoshidora going so deep offstage, tries to get the down air, but Siski barely avoiding it and positioning that up B perfectly. Also,
you see Siski is back on the Dark Samus.
Yes.
The regular choice for him, right? So something about fighting riddles made him want that smaller hurt box on the jump. I mean, obviously, I feel like Samus is just objectively very slightly better by like 0.0001%, but he doesn't care about that for this matchup.
Yeah, there is some benefits to Dark Samus. Her charge shot shoots a little bit lower, so my goodness, and that's going to be good for ledge trapping. But Yoshidora, Samus or Dark Samus, that forward air is going to do the same to both those characters.
Yeah, oh, you know what? I could totally see wanting the lower shot here because Yoshi loves to do the up B, barely hovering above the ledge to grab it. Yeah, so that's super important. Good observation there. Either way, I don't know. Right now, it's
my goodness.
Siski being observed. He's on pack watch, brother.
Oh man, 3 stocks to 1. And I mean, a lot of players haven't played against a Yoshi like Yoshidora, and I think it's being showcased here. Siski gonna try to make some adjustments this game number 1, but they might have to transition into game number 2 because not even a single stock taken for this game 1. Yoshidora with a dominating opening here.
Good Christ, bro. That was horrendous. That was a 3 stock, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Not even close. And it looked like Siski didn't even get a chance to wake up, to start adapting, right? That was just kind of over in a flash. Yoshi, one of those characters that you might not think of as ending games so quickly. You know, he's heavy, he's floaty, he has projectiles, or 1 projectile. But when you start cooking with this character, the damage just keeps on rolling. And Siski finding that one out the hard way. I don't know who the best Yoshi in Europe is, but you better be watching this if you have Siski at your locals.
Yeah, and Yoshi just a character that I think can be very good against zoners in a sense where you can come at that 45-degree angle, right? And Yoshi has one of the best air accelerations and air mobility in the game. And you can also come in with your approaches with the egg approach. So there's a lot of ways that Yoshi can manipulate how he approaches, and that is going to be big damage. That down air, almost comboing into the forward. Jeez.
Oh my god, and he swung it again too, just to show how comfortable and confident he is. I don't know what his level of experience against players like YB and Yaura is like, but it looks like there's no surprises for Yoshidora. He's prepared for this matchup.
Yeah, and these cross-ups as well. And I mean, Yoshidora just hits so hard. One down air, 1 up air. We usually see 3 to follow, right? So
yeah. Well, Samus being so floaty, she also gets out of a lot of stuff naturally, right? We were talking about that when he fought Riddles. Just like the reward on hit is a lot lesser against her versus some other characters in a similar weight class. But that said, it's not facing Yoshidora at all. He's always finding a way to get another hit.
All right, Siski making the adaptations, and that floatiness kind of helping Siski out. Was able to squeeze out the air dodge, and now you're able to chip away at Yoshidora. Trying to control this center platform here, and Yoshidora doing a really great job. But the parry on the back air, and Siski already making immediate adjustments, taking that first off, but Yoshidora striking right back with that up air.
Man, they were both crossing each other up so many times in that last interaction before Siski found the dash attack. But right now, it's back to even. Siski already a much better showing than last game, but how much further can you take this one? Can you take a game, right? You got to make that statement saying, all right, you might have gotten one over on me when I wasn't used to how you play, or maybe not so comfortable in the matchup, but give me a little bit of a time to adapt, and I'm going to take this for as long as I possibly can.
Oh, there's the bomb here, and this time, Siski complete control. And even though Smashville is the smallest stage for the stage list, a lot of zoners will come here just because of that center platform is the strongest part of the stage, right in the center.
Yeah, Samus is disgustingly good here. You got the threat of charge shot laterally, and then guess what? She has some of the best anti-airs and air-to-airs in the game. So if you even think about jumping in on me, I'm shutting that down immediately. Siski shutting down that second stock as well. Just a neutral air to finish it off, and now Yoshidora trailing by quite a bit. If he doesn't land this edge guard here, he's got a long road ahead of him. Samus is so good at this keep-away game, so good at building extra credit, extending her leads, and let's see what Siski can do. He's got that charge shot almost ready to go. Wow, but actually the aerial approach going to get Yoshidora through, and you might be in some trouble.
Wow, and Yoshidora going so far off stage, or it was looking like the position. Oh my goodness,
wow.
What a confirm there. Barely avoiding the egg. Siski still trying to make the stock count, but has only racked up 11% here. Now, finally getting some of these uppies out of shield. If Yoshidora goes for a really close cross-up, it's going to be an answer, right?
Yup. It doesn't matter how dominant that second stock was for Siski if he doesn't start tacking on the damage now, because Yoshidora is going to be feeling real good if he can cut this lead off before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, and look at that. The platform is a ceiling against the eggs as well, right? And a lot of time, Yoshidora wants to come in with that egg. So Siski really utilizing this stage to shut down some of the projectiles that Yoshidora is trying to approach with.
No, that's true. I was thinking earlier about how unique Yoshi's egg is in terms of like the arc that it covers and the way it's able to carve out aggressive opportunities for him. Yeah. But yeah, Smashville, it just doesn't show up the same way. All right, Yoshidora finally silencing that second stock here. But is it too little, too late? Samus is so dangerous with the lead. Siski now using the house to his advantage again. And anytime you try to jump in on him, that up B is certainly a present threat.
Yeah, this charge shot really just slicing through everything. It's not a transcendent projectile, but since it does so much damage, it usually goes through everything, right?
Yeah, it feels transcendent.
It feels transcendent, especially the fully charged version. So Siski, and Siski switching to Samus.
Yeah, I just noticed that like 10 seconds ago.
Hitting the upgrade button.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, and I also saw him with the charge shot with Yoshidora doing the up B near the ledge, and that's what made me notice it. I was like, oh shit, Charles was right. But hold on, guys. Siski evening the setup, and It wasn't quite a 3-stock, but it was a very solid victory. You know, 1-stock mid%, that's definitely adaptation at work.
And being ready for that trade almost feels like a crouch cancel-esque scenario where Siski got hit by just the first hit, but was able to react and go instantly into the dash attack while Yoshidora was still in that trade stun.
Yeah.
So really good stuff coming out from Siski here, evening things out, and honestly very impressed because the first game, maybe Siski was just farming data, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever copium gets you through the day, but yeah, after being 3-stocked, it's rare to see a player turn things around. And again, not a dominant win, but a solid one. So now that Siski feels a little bit more familiar, a little bit more comfortable against Yoshidora, or just against Yoshi in general, we might see a very different outcome. I think, quite honestly, if Yoshidora was to lose here, that would be kind of a bummer, right? Like, we waited so long for him to come to NA, and for him to go to loser's bracket in the top 32, not even for top 8, I don't know. It would just be a little bit of a bummer. That's the most you could say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone has been hyping up this Yoshi for quite some time. Yoshidora's results in Japan are insane with this character. Like,
right.
We're seeing Yoshidora go up against like Steve, Game & Watch and stuff. It's still getting the results, and such a unique result for this character here.
And he's, at this point, I'd say he's probably 3rd best in Japan, right? Or very close to it. Shutone himself, and there's a couple other people in the conversation, but Mia and Akala have really carved out that 1 and 2 spot. Oh! Snipington City, shall we? Cheers, my friends.
And just like that, punishing that up B, usually Yoshis will just autopilot into that up B just to boost themselves a little bit higher, get a little bit more mix while you're coming closer to that ledge. But Siski with the foresight and getting the punish there. See how much damage, already racking up 36% here, and Siski feels like even without, is able to get the noggin into the up air there.
Yo, shout outs to Noggin on Nickelodeon, bro, on Saturday mornings.
Yes.
I used to be so lit. And Yoshidora must have watched a lot of that. Definitely using his brain to quite good effect here. He has to make a comeback after that Game 1 win, that first stock win in Game 3 here for Siski. Oh, what? Huh? Yoshi just shrunk under that, man. Hurtbox shifting. Has science gone too far?
The back air very clean. Big hit here for Siski, but getting pelted by some of these eggs. Falling up air, big opening, the triple up air coming through. A lot of damage. Down here off the top.
Oh, no
Absolutely.
way.
And on top of that, you're throwing out so many multi-hits, and when you double jump with Yoshi, when you do an aerial, it doesn't stop your double jump, right? So Yoshidora rising with that threat, multiple hits there, and it's going to get the stock against Samus at around 100. That's such an early stock against Samus. She's so heavy.
Right, and that slow ascent, too, with the double jump is what allowed him to get the rising up air into another up air at the peak of his jump.
Yeah.
Yoshidora really knows this combo game in and out, even on some weird physics bodies like Samus, right? Again, heavy and floaty, but you could say the same thing for Yoshi.
Yeah, heavy, floaty, but you do have that frame 1 double jump with the armor there, right? And it's kind of been haunting Siski because he's not able to get this usual combos, especially off the up air that you can see earlier. Okay, just gonna back up from the egg lay here.
Oh, parrying the egg, saying, I'm not even letting you damage my shield, sir. I have a lot of work to do, and I'm very serious about the grind.
Okay, Yoshidora has quite the percentage lead here, playing very careful. Look at the navigation and just going straight to the ground here. Beautiful tech chase off the nair. Oh, waits for it, gets the grab.
Oh, dude, both of these characters having slow grabs, too. I feel like they really are cut from the same cloth in a lot of departments. We're going to see Yoshidora get the egg lay, frame trap with the up air to nair, and my God, what a whiff punish, just going up and over that forward air with one of his own, sending Siski to the depths and claiming Game 3 for himself. Now just 1 away from staying alive in winner's bracket. I was kind of doubting a little bit after Game 2, but that was a huge statement right there. And to make a comeback in the process, right?
Yeah.
Siski was on top in the beginning of that game, but Yoshidora just got his feet planted, figured something out, and he was able to coast for the rest of it.
Yeah, and again, just the amount of control that we see Yoshidora in these advantage states, right? That last stretch, that 1 egg to cover maybe a defensive air dodge, and then just fading backwards after the fade in to bait Siski into the swing. Siski throws out the forward air, and then, of course, Yoshidora whiff punches with a forward air of his own, except, his spikes. So, Very big deal off stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's just pretty much Yoshi's biggest X factor is the forward air, whether it's into an up air on the stage or into a spike for the kill directly. That move is nothing to be trifled with, and he has so much air mobility. He can find himself in these really strange situations that most characters aren't prepared for out of disadvantage.
Oh, there's no double jump here. What is Siski going to do? A directional air dodge to ledge, gets punished here, and I don't think Yoshidora can make it back. And just like that. Siski, even after kind of getting dominated on that last stock of Game 3, comes back with a big answer here.
These guys are just kind of farming each other back and forth. It's crazy. Game 1, obviously, huge win for Yoshidora. Game 2, solid for Siski. And then Game 3, it was just back and forth domination, right? But Yoshidora came out on top, so we'll see if Siski's able to push this to a Game 5. I don't know. So far, I'm obviously liking his chances, but it's easy to say when he has a first stock like that.
Yeah, interesting counter pick as well. We have Final Destination online, and that's really good for a lot of ledge trapping characters like Samus, but you're not going to have these ceilings against the egg approaches, so we'll see how that interaction, and especially against Yoshi, these stages are so impactful.
Yeah, they really are. I'm very curious as to why Yoshidora wouldn't ban this, right? This seems like almost an auto ban against a character like Samus, who's just so good with the zoning tools. Oh my god! But you know what? The punish game is unlimited. The freedom of movement is there when you don't have platforms getting in the way. And like you said, Charles, the egg openings gonna show up in a big way for Yoshidora here now that they're not getting clipped by a platform.
Yeah, and especially off stage, Yoshidora, I mean, we talked about Japanese players and their setups. Well, Yoshidora has the egg setup, didn't get the spike by going for the ledge drop nair there to continue the edge guard and maybe get some more damage. The back air is going to seal the deal, and Siski breaking up some of this momentum that Yoshidora was getting on that second stock. Very much needed.
Yeah, Siski still looking good here. If that forward air had spiked, it probably would have been Jover.
Yeah, that might have been the set.
Yeah. All right, more forward airs. Yoshidora, you could tell he's trying to put the pedal to the metal here. No brakes whatsoever. But I don't know, is Siski going to give it up so easily? Samus can just stand that one pace away from Yoshi, who really does have to make contact with his body, right? He's risking his hurt box every time he goes for something aggressive.
Right, now we're seeing a lot more full hop aggression. The double egg setup, oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Siski's
still in there.
Siski fading so far back, but like you said, Samus off stage, you're so floaty, you're out there for so long, you have so much specials that can push you forward, but it doesn't even matter. Yoshidora is still going to find that open. He's still going to find that up air.
Down throw up air, bro? The hoo-ha with Yoshi?
How does he do it?
I don't know, man. It looked like bad DI from Siski on the down throw if I had to guess, but still, suddenly we're in a last stock situation. Siski going to come out on top with a couple good hits right there, just charge shot to dash stack, and as long as you can keep Yoshidora at bay, you're not at too much of a risk, right? The egg is there and all that, but you could shoot a charge shot through it, you could back up from it, just respect it, and I don't think that Yoshidora necessarily has the best tools to infiltrate the space right here and make this comeback happen.
Yeah, Yoshi doesn't have too much horizontal movement on the ground. Like, you have dash tag, but it's not the greatest. You don't get much out of it. So it gives Siski a lot of time to set up these bombs in neutral, right?
Yeah, and oh man, you see right there how good both of these characters are out of shield. Up B for Samus, Nair for Yoshi. Very scary. No pressure is free, but you know what? That charge shot on the very long airtime of Yoshi coming down, again, that floatiness kind of betraying him right there. We're going to see Siski push the 5th game. I'm liking the way both of these guys are playing right now, but if we see the trend continue, Yoshidora might walk away with this one.
Yeah, just back and forth, and I mean, these counter picks are really being impactful because, again, we talked about Samus being one of the stronger ledge trap characters. Well, Final Destination, that is the ledge trap stage. There is no safe haven. You cannot ledge jump and go to a platform like Battlefield or any of the double platform stages and reset all of your resources. That's such a big deal. And against a character like Samus, where bomb at ledge is so powerful, we really saw Siski cash out on that, right?
Yeah, and also the juggle game on FD is very, very strong for pretty much any character. But when you're Samus and you can completely check one horizontal layer with your charge shot after scaring them into air dodge from an up air, for example, you really see that work to her advantage. So, I don't know. It's going to be Hollow Bastion for the last game here. I think a couple times we've seen Game 5s go here, but Yoshidora, can you fire back, man? Siski seems to have figured something big out, and so far, it's looking good for him. Attacking on 56, unanswered.
Man, another Game 5 scenario here in this top, now top 32 side of the bracket here, man. So many amazing sets and all international face-offs, right?
Yup. Oh my god, and it's right back to even as Siski gets an opening gambit of his own for 75, though, actually seizing a little bit of a lead with that down air. One of Yoshi's only ways to cover himself on the way down, but it leads to so much reward. Just the raw damage of that move is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm watching some of these Japanese players be so aggressive off stage, right? Usually Japan playstyle is more just take the safe ledge trap and stuff like that, but I mean, we really see the adaptation coming from this region, putting more aggression in certain parts of the gameplay here, and it's really paying off.
You're also seeing that huge air mobility from Yoshi really play a role. You saw Siski fading away, charging his charge shot, and then Yoshi was right in his face with the nair before he could even let it rip. All that said, though, it's going to be Siski taking the first stock.
Oh, the air dodge comes out, but no punish from Yoshidora.
Just not in position. Overextended a little bit, maybe going off to the left.
We're trying to get this reverse hit of the up tilt. That is the money maker for Yoshi. You can go straight into an up air after that. But Siski knows exactly what Yoshidora wants and wants to get as much % on this lead as possible.
Oh, hold on. Falling to the ledge, getting clipped by the charge shot and by the nair. I believe you are dead. Yes.
Wow.
One stock left for Yoshidora. He's got to make a heroic comeback to pull this one off.
Man, Sissy doing an incredible job just locking down Yoshidora, not getting hit by these edge guards. Look at just stalling, fading back with these down Bs, holding on to that double jump, and Yoshidora just can't get this stock.
This is insane. Is Siski going to return the favor on the 3 stock in this 5th game?
Man, what a timeline here. The charge shot, wow, almost catching the roll there. And Yoshidora still needs to find an answer for this very first stock, already on his last. The back air is still not enough. Pristine DI coming out from Siski, and still recovering the 8 connects. Another down B. You just can't nail the final hit.
Yeah, it's so hard to get Samus in a bad spot. Wow, it's actually going to be her own forward air. No, never mind. It's still alive. Oh, and that's untechable. Wow, what a ridiculous way to die. Off the top from a nair stage spike. I've never seen somebody die off the top from a stage spike, I don't think.
All right, we'll see if Yoshidora has the clutch gene here. Down an entire stock. We saw MK Leo do it against Ouch. See if Yoshidora can follow suit in terms of seeding here, but Siski really looking like he's trying to lock down this upset.
Yeah, this would be so huge for him too, right? I think with all the eyes that were on Yoshidora, everyone kind of expected him to just make winner's top 8 or at least winner's top 24, right? But yeah. Siski looking to shut it down. All right, getting a lot of charge on his neutral B right there, and you know he wants to finish the set with that, right? So it's almost like he can take as much damage as he wants or needs to, as long as he's able to land the kill shot.
Ooh, wow, really quick. Tries to get the down air, but the reversal coming out from Siski. Going for the ledge trap here. The dash attack doesn't catch, but the up B does. And this is a lot of damage Yoshidora is taking here. There breaks the armor on the double jump. Forces Yoshidora back to the ledge, the forward air, swatting Yoshi out, and Yoshi's very heavy, but 160 already. This is quite a bit of damage.
Oh my god, so creative, finding his way back onto solid ground from a really terrible position. Yoshidora, he's obviously different from the rest of the field with this character, and he's showing you why. Okay.
Still alive?
No! And the forward air is going to connect. Yoshidora's winner's bracket hopes evaporating with every passing second of this game. Siski just one good hit away, but can he find it in time? I mean, he has a lot of time to do it, right? But hold on.
Okay.
It's a last stock situation, Charles.
Yoshidora sitting at 166%. You got to avoid a lot of things. There's not a lot of rage here, but we'll see if the setup can come through. Double jumping out of danger here. Yoshidora playing very careful, but here's the opening, the back air.
No way. No way. Oh my god, if that egg landed.
Oh, tech chase! Doesn't go for the jab lock. Is the up B enough? No! Still alive here, 181%, but the back air will surely do it. And Siski getting the upset, closing the set out. Game 5 against Yoshidora. Man.
Wow, what an insane upset. Again, the expectations on Yoshidora coming into this weekend were astronomical. It is very hard to live up to that, especially when you go up against killers like Siski, right? A player who I think is a little bit underappreciated, right? Coming from Spain, not the most typically highlighted country in terms of global Smash discourse, right? Even in Europe, like France is usually the one under the spotlight. But this dude is a monster. He's here for a reason, folks. Best in his country, one of the best in all of Europe and all of the world. Very, very well done, and congrats to Siski.
Yeah. We'll see how this match went here with the replays. And man, it was such a crazy opening, right? Yoshidora with the 3-stock lead. And man, it was just so back and forth after that. I mean, we thought it was pretty much doomed for Siski because of how strong of an opening Yoshidora had. But Siski with the right adaptations at the right time and just being able to get that crazy lead in that Game 5. And as long as Siski didn't essentially throw on that very last couple of stocks there, he was just able to close it out with a very solid lead.
Oh man, that set, like just that healthy back and forth between two characters that have been in it since the beginning, right? These are 64 veteran roster characters, right? Samus versus Yoshi, it's just great to see it. And again, they have a lot of very similar attributes. The weight, the fall speed, the quick options out of shield, the good recoveries, right? There's just so much that they have in common that watching them go up against each other, it's like meeting your cousin from an alternate timeline or something. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was a great set. You really saw them both play to the strengths of their characters. Here on FD, the fact that Siski was able to just close this one out, bring it to that Game 5 that he ended up winning, man. Kind of a Cinderella story of a set.
Yeah.
You know, you came back from getting 3-stocked. You almost 3-stocked him. He almost reversed 3-stocked you, but then you ended up doing it.
Yeah, and there's so much question marks behind who is the best Samus, and I think Siski was like, yo, I know y'all got the upset on Spargo, but I still have the consistency competing out here at these international brackets and taking out Yoshidora at that, right?
Yeah, oh man, that downbeat ledge trump into the Nair stage spike that killed off the top, by the way, so ridiculous. And you could see Yoshidora, he kept the fighting spirit alive for so long in that last stock at 180+%, but Siski, he was the one who landed the final blow. Some amazing, amazing gameplay from both of them. But guys, before we close things out, we got to give a shout out to one of our biggest partners of the event. That is Fresh Cut. And they might not be barbers, even though some of you probably need to see one, myself included. They're here to give you guys some of the freshest clips, and they're also here to give back to the TOs of Battle of BC, right? So if you download this app, not only will you be able to catch up with specifically curated content, some of the hypest stuff out there in the world of Smash on a daily basis, but you can support Battle of BC directly. $1 is added to the prize pool for every single person that downloads the app, or I think even if you already have it, you just throw in the promo code Battle of BC inside your app already. You can scan the QR code as well. So, yeah, guys, a company that's trying to give back, pump some money into the scene, make it a little bit less backbreaking for these TOs to put on these phenomenal events. Please, show them some love. Check them out. Fresh Cut has the back of the scene, and we couldn't be happier to have them here. And they also got this big sign right here, too. Just to remind you.
Yeah, I mean, Fresh Cut makes it so easy as well. If you want to see the best clips, you want to get to the juicy parts, you want to get to the hype moments, right? Check out Fresh Cut. So many of the players in the Smash community also have that Fresh Cut as well, so you can really just get to the juicy parts of all of their gameplay, and really just shouts to Fresh Cut supporting the community. And yeah, that's going to be it for our block. It was one hell of a block, Max.
You already know, man.
Man, I had so much fun.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite blocks probably of all time. The matches, the commentary, just the reactions from the crowd. The vibes in here are immaculate, guys. If you didn't come to Battle of BC 5, you missed out, but something tells me there's going to be a 6th.
And if you guys enjoyed our commentary, make sure to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, and make sure to keep following this tournament. There's hype matches to come. There's the other side of the top 128 bracket, and of course the faded top 8 that's coming through. I can't wait for that.
It's going to be insane, guys. Don't go anywhere. We got more coming right up for you. But that's it for me and Charles for the night. See you soon.